Too many trying to win, too many lost. Smoke like I smoke.
Who wanna spar a few rounds, boy, my stamina great. Once you get trapped behind these bars, you can't escape.
I'm dropping these philosophies that y'all should try adopting.
Running from the law, no, running from the law, but you cross me. Snakes in the grass, learn how to move when they rattle. Too many losses, be a light and you can prove it's a shadow.
Yo, I walk through the streets like the grand wizard of poetry, and your boy got that bling, so nigga just knows me. Only God knows.
Yeah.
They say that life is a marathon. Well, catch me if you can, I'm a paragon.
Yeah.
Just try to keep up.
Keep
Try
up.
to keep up.
All praises, man. All praises, man. See, the Most High told me, man, give him a proverb, so.
They call me prophet when they run up, so I put the gun up. Started from the bottom, but now I'm on the come up. Staying on my grind, I'ma hustle till the sun up. I kick it with my ox, so you know we put that pun up. Yeah, life's different when you anointed. Them demons come hard when they know that you've been appointed. Was stubborn in my ways, on the way to my grave. Stiff neck me for the truth, now my spirit is double jointed. Gotta stay ready for war. I put on the whole armor of God. When my brethren get the call, it's on cause they know that we finna ride. Need to be humble in the spirit, but be bold in your countenance. And beware opposition. Even your friends and your family can be counterfeit. I'm just trying to find my way. It's my destiny, I know I got a part to play. Can't wait to see a high on that righteous day. New Jerusalem, I know I got a right to stay. You need to take heed to this wisdom, and you gotta stay away from folly. Cause everybody say they in the truth, but the truth is not in everybody. Hit back to them punchlines, ballin' like it's crunch time. Hungry for the word like I'm standing in the lunch line. I know you got a purpose, you can find it with enough time. And seek his wisdom daily cause you gonna have a tough time. I seek the Messiah, no hesitation. Elohim ain't no need for abbreviation. Follow the laws, you know heavenly legislation. And these lyrics overhead like I'm spitting at elevation. Woo! And tell my sisters I'm sorry for how you treat it. Remember y'all some queens and the enemy been defeated. I know sometimes it's hard and your spirit can feel depleted. Go to Proverbs 31 and then let me know when you read it. Yeah, this whole world artificial. We need to get back to reality. How we come from a line of kings, but we lost sheep cursed with a peasant mentality. There's redemption in the Most High, but it's up to us to seize it. They say prophet got the juice, but the Holy Spirit was the one that had to squeeze it. Need to take heed to this wisdom, and trust you gotta stay away from folly. Cause everybody say they in the truth, but the truth is not in everybody.
I'm just trying to find my way. It's my destiny, I know I got a part to play. Can't wait to see a high on that righteous day. New Jerusalem, I know I got a right to stay. You need to take heed to this wisdom, and you gotta stay away from folly. Cause everybody say they in the truth, but the truth is not in everybody.
I'm just trying to find my way. It's my destiny, I know I got a part to play. Can't wait to see a high on that righteous day. New Jerusalem, I know I got a right to stay. You need to take heed to this wisdom, and you gotta stay away from folly. Cause everybody say they in the truth, but the truth is not in everybody.
I'm just trying to find a way. Find my way. Can't wait to see a high on that righteous day. Righteous day. Heed to this wisdom. You gotta stay away from folly. Heed to this wisdom. But the truth is not in everybody.
And there were brought unto him little children, that he should put his hands on them and pray. And the disciples rebuked them. But Jesus said, Suffer little children, and forbid them not to come unto me, for of such is the kingdom of heaven.
Praise the Most High Elohim, the ruler above everything. Send his son down to redeem. Plus he took one for the team. He tougher than every Marine. Sheol is hotter than steam. Not praising our Father in spirit and truth, and I really don't know what you mean.
In everything, I'll praise the Most High.
What we doing?
Keep the Torah and praise the Most High.
So the Abba.
He's been so good, so praise the Most High.
Oh yeah.
No matter what, I'll praise the Most High.
Get him, son.
Praise the Most High.
What's your name?
My name is Akari. I am a Hebrew and I am not sorry. I am a light, so I'm gonna shine. I think about how I'm always, cause God on my mind. We learn on Shabbat, we call it Bible day. When Daddy teaches, we listen right away. We pray every night as we hold hands. Then we go to bed, cause that is the plan. Praise the Most High. We don't eat bacon. Don't celebrate holidays, cause all that is pagan. We keep holy days. Passover is great. We play games and have fun, so please don't be late. In everything, I'll praise the Most High.
Praise him.
Keep the Torah and praise the Most High.
What we doing?
He's been so good, so praise the Most High.
So the Abba.
No matter what, I'll praise the Most High.
Josiah.
Praise the Most High. Grateful to the Lamb. My name is Josiah, but you could call me Cam. Them precepts, we learn them. The enemy, we burn them. We study hard, we pass the quiz. Them prizes, we earn them. Praise the Most High. Sin cannot hide. Bridges ain't nothing if you wicked inside. We keep the law, we do the work. Love your neighbor, don't be a jerk. Be spirit-led, be set apart. A sound mind, don't go berserk. We grow in knowledge, we heed instructions. We want salvation, we don't want destruction. And good times are bad, Messiah's close by. So join in with me and praise the Most High. In everything, I'll praise the Most High.
That's right.
Keep the Torah and praise the Most High.
Okay.
He's been so good, so praise the Most High.
Give him praise.
No matter what, I'll praise the Most High.
Baby girl.
Praise the Most High.
Yeah.
Every day I do it, my well running over. With holy fluid, got a Bible in my room, and I read it every day. When he said that he loved me, I already knew it. Praise the Most High. He blessed me with some clothes, blessed me with some shoes. Watch a Hebrew pose. I'm so grateful for his grace, and his mercy is the best. Don't deserve to be his daughter, that's why I'm never stressed. Praise the Most High. I'm learning every day. First we read in Torah class, then outside to play. My dinner, he made it. That doctor bill, he paid it. But don't get it twisted, he ain't none to play with. In everything, I'll praise the Most High.
That's right.
Keep the Torah and praise the Most High.
Okay.
He's been so good, so praise the Most High.
Give him praise.
No matter what, I'll praise the Most High.
Still on the demon and evil and rotting, I know that they watching, yeah. Don't be a heathen, the Most High gon' kill him for sinning and plotting, yeah. You Pharisees come with a scheme, teaching the law but don't know what it mean. Me and my Akis are fishers of men, so we throw them hooks out like we know Kareem. Spit it for God, we don't need a deal. Feeding the hungry, give them a meal. Helping the homeless, cause that's how we feel. We follow Messiah, cause that is what's real. You twisting the scriptures, you know that I hate it. Feel like Trey Songz, cause I gotta make it. He giving out blessings, you know I'ma take it. These precepts authentic, so no need to fake it. Train up a child, just look at they faces. Don't be so hateful, salvation all races. Keep the Shabbat and you know the feast days, cause the Lunisola is always the basis. I'ma serve him till I die. Guard the Torah like we SI9. With all my soul, yeah, you know I'm gonna try. So everybody, praise the Most High.
Most High.
Go killer!
All right. Shabbat Shalom, family. Shabbat Shalom. It's your boy, Solemn Prophet, Brother Akeem, for those who know me as Brother Akeem. And this is Shabbat Talk. So I'm trying to get rid of all of this music that's playing in my ears right now. All right. Shabbat Shalom, family. Glad you guys can make it. And I appreciate everybody for being able to be flexible and come on a little bit earlier. We got a live stream a little later on today on the Seven Trumpets Prepper channel. So I just wanted to make sure, I know Righteous Reactions can sometimes run long, so I wanted to give enough time for, even if it does run long, that we can get the entire thing completed before the live stream that's coming up at 8 o'clock. So with that being said, for those of you guys who tuned in to the what was supposed to be a live stream listening party for the new album, I do appreciate y'all coming. Sorry that it malfunctioned and we didn't get to do it like we wanted to do it. We thought everything was live streaming just fine. Me and Brother Lucas went through majority of the songs, had a good conversation, thought everybody was watching, but unfortunately it didn't do it. So if you did not already email me, if you want to, if you were there and you missed it, and you can email me and I'll send you a free copy of the album. But get into the show. First things first. Let's go ahead and give the Most High his just due. Without him, we wouldn't have this platform. Simply put, all the work that's done on the camera, off the camera, behind the scenes, the preparation that goes into it, everything that we do here, it wouldn't be possible without the Most High, without his blessing, without his favor, without his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and without you guys, for him putting you guys in our paths and us in your path as well. So all praises to the Most High, and as you already know, he gets the loudest clap. So all praises to the Most High. So let's go ahead and get into the shout outs. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Sister Sandra and Brother David for being the first ones in the YouTube chat. Shabbat Shalom, family. Next up, you already know the usuals. Shabbat Shalom to Sister Cindy and Sister Tess. They were next up in the YouTube channel chat. Shabbat Shalom, sis.
Shabbat Shalom, yeah. Shabbat Shalom. Love you, family.
Love you as well. Love you, love you, love you. Shabbat Shalom to Sister Ava, man. She being on it. She was on my case, and rightfully so, because I had so much going on. I forgot to send the notification of moving up the time to everybody. So yeah, I do appreciate everybody for being flexible, like I said. But Shabbat Shalom to Sister Ava.
Yeah, that's what big sisters are for, man. That's what big older sisters are for. But, the Messiah said that when 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, so is he. So I am pumped and encouraged that everybody is here. I appreciate you all for coming. And thank you so much, House Akeem, for hosting. I don't take it lightly. I appreciate it very much. I don't know if I could do it every week. So thank you, everybody, from the wife to the children. I appreciate you all.
All praises. Thank you. I tell y'all, man, hold me accountable. I ain't perfect out here. I make mistakes just like everybody else.
That's no problem. That's no problem. Big sisters giving nuggies to little brothers. That's what we do.
All right. Shabbat Shalom to the one, the only knighted individual on this panel, can protect you from harm, and he knows how to use a sword. Sir Gregory, Sir Icebreaker. Shabbat Shalom, my brother.
Shabbat Shalom, brother. Shabbat Shalom, family.
Shabbat Shalom to the sponsor, sponsor, Sister Andy, Sister Andrea. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to you and the family.
Shabbat shalom to my beautiful wife, Ebony. I told her yesterday she make life so much easier for me, and I love going through this life with her. From road trips to good times, bad times, god dang, random people trying to order food in the store and they don't even know what a simple sauce is, and she keep me calm because I was about to lose my mind. Shabbat shalom, happy Sabbath to my wife.
Happy Sabbath.
Shabbat shalom to Sister Natanya in the building. I love you with the love of the Father, sister.
I appreciate you, family. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Just quickly checking the chat, see if there's anybody else I need to give a shout out to. Okay. As other people come in, as you know, I'll stop what we're doing and give them their proper shout outs because I appreciate you guys for coming in and tuning in. But let's roll up. Let's go to the next one, which is the scripture readings for this week. All right, so this week we got Joshua 12:12 through 13:1. We got Proverbs 14:9 through 14:28. And we got Psalms chapters 75 through 77. Heads up, 78 is a nice size chapter, just to let y'all know for next week. You might want to break that one up a little bit. But yeah, this is what we got for this week. Sir Icebreaker, would you like to do the honors to get it cracking on what stood out to you this week, brother?
All righty. Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff this week. But what I would just touch on is in Proverbs 14, and I'll just read two of the verses that stood out. So the first one is 14:12. It says, "There's a way which seem right unto a man, but in the end, therefore, are ways of death." And that one stood out to me just because I know a lot of people fall into deception, and the itchy ears tend to go to places that it shouldn't go in. So, if people keep going that way without repenting, turning back, definitely can lead them to death if they're not careful with that. And then 15, again, like I said, there's a lot of good stuff in this reading and other for 75, 76, but this number 15 is the simple believeth every word, similar to that one, but the prudent man looketh well into his going. So just don't be simple and believe every word you hear, like a lot of people with the false churches, like when they say things, the preachers say something that's blasphemy, they congregation still stay there. I'm like, they just like grasping on every word versus having like their own discernment. But yeah, those are the two that I'll go touch on.
Had to give you two bombs because both of them verses was right on point. Right on point. You took one of mine, but I was expecting that one. I knew that was low hanging fruit when I was like, it was verse 12. I was like, I knew you or Abba was gonna get that one for sure. That one was gone, right? But no, I agree wholeheartedly with those. All right, next up, who we got?
Crickets.
Ava.
Oh, she's there. What do you mean, Ava?
Sorry.
Called you out.
Sister Vivian. Well, I want to know if Sister Ebony placed any bets this week because there are not the regular verses today.
I did not.
Oh, okay, wise woman. All right.
You got lucky this week, Sister Ava. We've been so busy. Sister Ebony, she had no time to place no kind of bet.
All right. Well, I'm glad brother brought up Proverbs 14:15. That was an encouragement to me too. Joshua 13:1. Now Joshua was old, advanced in years. And the Lord said to him, "You are old, advanced in years, and there remains very much land yet to be possessed." And that was an encouragement to me because I know I'm not that old, but what it says to me is that Yah has use for you every stage of your life. You know, there's another verse that goes that wisdom comes out to the mouth of babes. So Yah doesn't look on your age. He uses who he wants to use. And so it encourages me that I should stay prepared and not pull a Moses on him or a Gideon on him and say, hey, I don't know if I can do this. You know, I have this problem and my knees hurt and so on. No, stay prayed up and stay strong in mind and body and spirits for whenever he chooses to use you, even at a late stage in life. Proverbs, why? Just why? Proverbs 14:20. The poor man is hated by his own neighbor, but the rich has many friends. This was also an encouragement to me because I've shared before that my status is as a poor person, and I am actually not ashamed by that. I actually enjoy the blessing of that because especially as an immigrant, Sister Andrea has brought this up before. People will call you, I want to talk to you, I want to ask you, how are you? When people ask me, how are you? I actually disdain that question because people don't call me on the regular to check in on me, really. They're not praying for me. They don't show up for me when I need help or anything like that. And, they just warm up to you to eventually ask you, can I have some money? And so I just enjoy that. I have a rusty truck. I live in a trailer park, and my phone is like a government phone. So when I show it to people, I'm like, unless you have less than this, I can't help you. And then they just disappear. There's no more how are yous and just checking in on you. So it's a blessing to me. I actually enjoy the status, and it keeps me humble and not covetous. So, I'm great. I'm fine. Proverbs 14:26, in the fear of the Lord there is strong confidence, and his children will have a place of refuge. I love that. He has proven that to me many times over. Proverbs 14:23, in all labor there is profit, but idle chatter leads only to poverty. And it reminds me of Matthew 12:36-37. But I say to you that for every idle word men may speak, they will give account of it in the day of judgment. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. And that's encouraging to me because people are always trying to push me to talk about things that just waste my time. People don't understand that I don't have a 9-to-5 life. So when they want to talk and go on and on about the weather and stuff, I'm like, I'm working. I'm at work. And you figure to understand that just like how I don't call you when you're at work, I don't have time to sit around and be talking about stuff. I have to work. So that's an encouragement to me that Yah says this, and I don't have to worry about what other people think, because I just have to have respect for them, and I ask them to have respect for me. And it also leads me to Matthew 15:18, because I dealt with this week like 2 or 3 times. It says, but those things which proceed out of the mouth come from the heart. And I am so grateful for Yah for this, is that eventually when people can't get what they want from me, it comes out of their mouth, their true intention all along. I just have to be patient, make the decision to be guarded, and just watch how what they claim that they came to you about at first is not truly it. And time and Yah will prove what was in their hearts all along. And I'm grateful for him for that. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Oh, praises. Thank you for sharing those. The reason I gave you a bomb was because you made a great point about always staying ready and how the Most High can use you in whatever age and stage you are in your life.
Right.
And I just wanted to add just a little bit and piggyback off of that. Think about the age and the stage of many of the patriarchs' life when he decided to use them.
Moses.
Right? How old was Moses? How old was Abraham?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So Abraham being over 100 years old, right? Now in modern day, if you even make it to 100, it's a blessing. But once you hit 100, ain't nobody expecting you to put no work in.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, now you're 100 and whatever it is. Now I'm gonna need you to go and do this or that, right? But like you said, like we should always stay ready. We should always be open and willing to be used however he sees fit. I mean, because let's be real, he's going to use us however he sees fit. But you should go into it with a positive attitude. You know what I mean? But if he could use Abraham, you know, over 100, if he can use Moses, I can't recall how old Moses was at the time, but he was older. And there was other people throughout the Bible that were in their older years, and he used them for whatever the purpose was at the time. So if he can use them, he can definitely use you. I would argue and say you're probably going to be used more in your older years than you are in your younger years. A lot of we think about, you know, life in this short linear kind of way where when we were a kid, we're going to enjoy our childhood, and then we're going to go into a teenager, and then we're going to experience these different things, and we're going to become an adult, and we're going to do these things, and then that's when like the usage begins to come in, right? But no, he can use a child. I've seen him use a child. I've seen him use a teenager. I've seen him use an adult, and all in different ways. But you know, whatever his plan and purpose is for your life, you should always be willing to welcome that with open arms. But yes, it's good point.
But the thing is that's what modern Western society has done to us. We are raised up that, okay, you need to save for retirement, and you go to a retirement home and you have no use to anybody, and everybody has to come and volunteer and serve you, and you just decay in that place. Well, that's even in many African villages and people who have remained away from modern society. They still have that in their culture, that the older people have use, and they don't have to sit away and decay and be bedridden and stuff. They are guiding the young women, guiding the young children, you know, giving them wisdom on how to be a responsible adult. But we don't do that where we live. We don't do that. And so that's, you know, one of the things that we have to go back to and make a decision. I mean, like women could say, well, yeah, I chose men, so he won't have use for me then. So I can just go ahead and save for retirement and go to a retirement home. No, even if I don't have people that I live with, I can choose to be a useful part of society. I can go to a boys and girls club and volunteer there. I can volunteer at an old people home. You know, I can volunteer at the hospital. You know, be of use in your older age, because it will feed your spirit. It will encourage you. You know, you can be a light to people, to encourage them, to ask you about, so you can add to the kingdom so he can get to come. You know, so yeah.
Absolutely. Anybody else wanted to share what they got from the scripture reading this week?
This is not from the scripture. I just want to piggyback on what Tama was saying about, you know, when you get old, like you're not valid, you know, you're not, your family don't appreciate it, just ship you off somewhere. And I remember a time back home, it never used to be like that. They never shipped old folks to like a nursing home. They would keep them, they would be at home. The neighborhood would take care of them. It's so different here, where everybody just goes in their house and they lock the door, and you could have a neighbor, you don't even know their name, and it's sad. But back then, the older folks, they were home, they were part of the community. They watch over the children, they guide the children. And I know times change, but it's just kind of a sad that we have gotten away from those kind of tradition that really place value and you know, and older people when they get older, and the grandmas and the grandpas that have so much to still offer, because you know they're still full of life. They may be slow, but their brains still work and they still have much to offer. And it's sad, and in a way, I know we don't go back. Times we move forward in time, but I wish in a way that was some tradition that we could still hold on to, you know, to still value the older grandmas and the grandpas, because I think they still have so much to offer us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. To live longer is a blessing in itself. And like you said, the elderly are filled with life experience and wisdom that we could benefit from. We should look at them as jewels and gems and hot commodities, not something like a burden or something that needs to be discarded because they're no longer youthful. But there's so much knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and I don't know if y'all notice, old people are funny, and I like to laugh. Like they will literally have you cracking up, telling you old stories, or just a lot of them, their personalities, because they done lived like to live as long as they done lived. Some of they don't care. You know what I'm saying? And that genuine laughter is just so healthy. So that's something else to think
That's
about.
very, very
I
true. Very
definitely
true.
agree with
Very
y'all.
true. Thank you.
And the change starts with us. I've already told my son, hey, no matter where I am in the world, even if we live in different countries, don't you dare be afraid to send your children home to stay with me for the summer. If we're living in the same neighborhood, I'm not expecting him to keep me in his home, even though that would be nice. But I said, don't you dare go spend money on a babysitter. I am not the type of woman that can say, no, I want to go travel, and send them with me to go travel. We'll go travel with the children. It's like, so for me, if I want to change, the change is going to start with me. So I've already told him that, don't you dare be afraid. I think I'm too busy. Children are a joy. And I am not going to be that hip grandmother that is out and about and partying and dating and don't have time to take care of the grandchildren. I don't see any reason why they should spend a spouse's income to go pay babysitters to take care of children when you have a free babysitter here that's going to feed them clean food. They're going to hear the word. They're going to get laughs. They're going to get away with some candy, and that they'll be safe. You know who the person is. So change starts with us.
Absolutely. Sister Alba, is Brother Sean right there with you?
Yeah, so you didn't even big him up.
No, I didn't know. Look, you
Do I
reminded
have
me
to give him
to
for
ask.
everything, little brother? Do I have to?
Look here. Brother Yoshanan sometimes tunes in on his own because I know he be in different rooms sometimes. All right. But excuse me, Shabbat Shalom to Brother Yoshanan, aka Brother Sean, in the building. Shabbat Shalom, my brother. Glad you can make it on in here.
Yeah, he's too busy eating dates and pistachios in the kitchen with me, so he's having a grand time.
Ooh, pistachios sound amazing.
Yeah, and it's the first time we're trying dates. I tried them last week. I haven't had any this week, but he's just eating them up in front of me. It tastes like cookies. I was missing out.
Never had dates before.
So many desserts you can make with dates.
Never had dates before. That's crazy.
Who is that? Who is that?
Shabbat Shalom.
The Professor S is in the house.
And last but not least, my brother, my A1 Day One, who is back with us on Shabbat Talk in view. You can see my man got the swoop on him. Got the swoop right now. You know what I'm saying? Shabbat Shalom to my brother Professor S, my co-host. Shabbat Shalom.
Y'all remember a couple weeks ago when I said I knew what the surprise was? That's what I thought it was. I thought it was finally going to be back with us. So I was so disheartened when that was not what the surprise was. I was really bummed. Honestly, I almost wanted to cry when I realized it wasn't. So I'm so happy to see you, brother.
All right, thank you.
Oh, that's what it was. I was really trying to figure it out. So
I was totally way off. So yeah, I thought it was just gonna say something else, but yeah.
But man, it's good to have you back, brother.
All right, thank you. It's good to be back.
Shabbat Shalom, Brother Joe. So good to see you.
Thank you.
I've got something to say though. Lucas said something earlier when he was doing a live, and I'm thinking, maybe Joel will be back because he said, was talking about Akeen and Joel both, and it's like awesome. I'm so happy. It's so good to see you, bro.
Well, it's just a coincidence that when he got all of his like service things figured out to be on camera, that it just so happens it's the same week that Lucas invited us on his platform to do the show.
Just happened to be.
That was
a
coincidence. Yeah.
All praises to the
But Professor S, you want to share anything that stood out to you from this week?
I actually, to be completely honest, I've been working on the what we'll be talking about tonight, so I didn't get to read it.
Okay, yeah, no worries. I had to.
Why are you putting him in that corner like that?
I went through those links.
Yeah.
Well, listen, he's been gone so long. I wanted to see if he wanted to have something to say. Look,
No, I didn't get to read it this week. I've been I try to read it on Shabbat, and today I've been preparing something for tonight on Lucas's show, so I didn't have a chance to read it. So
yeah, that's gonna be fire too, by the way. Well, the thing that I would like to share, since Sir Gregory so graciously already mentioned verse 12, I'm gonna go up a couple, right? And although 7 through 9 all kind of stood out to me, I have them, all three of them highlighted and underlined. I'll just talk about verse 7. It says, "Go from the presence of a foolish man when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge." Man, I can't tell you how powerful that scripture is right there. Because when you hear foolishness continuously come out of somebody's mouth, or maybe they say one thing and you go, like, where did you get that from? Like, run away.
Yeah.
Simba and never return, like Scar told him on The Lion King. Because a lot of times we stick around, and then later on we realize that maybe we were affected, maybe we were influenced, maybe some of those characteristics and traits maybe rubbed off onto us, or maybe we just, for the sake of trying to reach somebody else, just stayed a little bit too long and put ourselves in bad situations. When you hear foolishness, pay attention and listen. Just like when you hear something wise and you go, man, I need to write that down, or I need to, you know what I'm saying, look into that more, whatever the case may be. Do the same thing with foolishness and take note of those people who are saying those foolish things, because you don't want to end up saying or, affecting somebody else. I saw that verse 7 resonated with me so much. I was just telling my kids, because this week for their Shabbat talk, I had them sit down and watch the movie Noah, the one with Russell Crowe and the dude from Hannibal, right? And they were mad, not mad, like they weren't upset, but they were like, bro, this movie don't have nothing to do with the Bible. Because I was like, I want you to tell me something that you liked about the movie. I want you to tell me something that you didn't like about the movie. And I want you to point out some things that were in the movie that's not in the biblical account. And the whole movie, they were just spewing them out. This never happened. This thing happened like. And I said, well, that was the point of this today, was to let you watch this and see all the stuff that's wrong with it. Because that lets me know that you've been paying attention to the Bible lessons that we've been doing, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, sometimes it's just as important to see what's wrong as it is to see what's right, because when you see what's wrong, you're able to identify and reject and correct.
Yeah, right? you get to use discernment. You use discernment, and just by using discernment, it increases your awareness of things.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, I told him, I said, like, let's just say, sometime in the future, maybe one of your friends invites you to church or whatever, right? And you go to church because you want to, you didn't want to say no or whatever the case may be, but you go. So you go, You're sitting there, you're enjoying the service, and the pastor says something that you know for sure isn't in the scriptures, right? You're not going to be like the rest of everybody else, amening him and egging him on and saying, yes, pastor. You're going to be like, that's not in the scripture. But you've been able to identify it and make sure that that's something that you don't receive on the inside, because you know that that's false information, right? So I just wanted to reiterate, sometimes it's always good to stay in the word, right? And it's always good to know what the truth is. But sometimes you spend so much time sharpening your knife, you don't ever use it. But that's all I have for this week. Anybody else wanted to share before we move on to the next week's reading? Sister Abba said, just this week somebody said to me, the Most High doesn't care about me spending time with me.
Him.
I'm like, sorry. Oh, with him. Oh, okay, sorry. With him. I'm like, you asking for a block right there. About to get the block button.
Of course he cares.
Yeah, that was it. Oh, yeah. Of course he cares. He wants an intimate, very close and intimate relationship with each and every one of us. All right. Next week we have, pull it up here. We got Joshua 13:2 to 13:15, Proverbs 14, verse 29 through 15:13, and then Psalm 78 through 80. Again, Psalm 78 is a nice size chapter. You might want to break that up a little bit. Because I was telling my wife, like, we read every day. We go through the scripture readings and we read every day. If you read one chapter every single day, you got a chapter in Joshua, you got a chapter, a section in Joshua, a section in Proverbs, and then you have typically three chapters in Psalms. So Joshua, Proverbs, and Psalms, that's about 5 chapters or 5 segments that you can be reading each and every day, right? How many days is in a week? You get me? So there's 2 extra days that you can break something up. Like 78 is huge, so you might want to break that up a little bit more, and you're still good to go. You're not biting off more than you can chew. Or read each segment each day, finish the segment on the 5th day, and then on the 6th and the 7th day, pull something else out from the scriptures, right? Maybe you never read anything in the book of Ezra. Maybe you never read something in the Gospels. Maybe you never read something one of Paul's epistles or something. But just broaden your horizon. These scripture readings each week, these weekly readings, are designed for us to be on one accord and go through and read the scriptures to get stuff out of them. Absolutely. But it should never totally replace your own personal time reading and getting into the word, right? You should always be reading and getting into the word on your own time. So those extra 2 days, if you're someone who don't have much time, but all you have is to, take a little bit of time to read, and that's why you do the scripture reads, that's great. But, use those extra 2 days to do something else, if that's how you do it. I'll read a little bit each and every day. That just helps me. And then some days I might go and read a whole bunch of stuff, especially if I'm studying a particular topic or researching a particular thing. But that's just a suggestion. But y'all not here to hear me talk. Y'all are here for righteous reactions. So this week, people been sending me. Y'all been taking me up on the invite. People been sending me videos. We have a lot of videos that are in the queue. So if your video don't get played, it's because there's so many. I'm still playing catch up. But this first video, if you're gonna comment, be careful what you say on the comment. We ain't trying to get demonetized. Well, not demonetized. We ain't trying to get the video taken down. I don't care about being demonetized, but we want this video to be up so people can still tune into it. But this one right here got some really good information about detoxing.
Yesterday was a historic day as the very first detoxification protocol was published in the U.S. medical literature that gives people a chance to take this whole issue into their own hands and use natural substances to begin to help the body clear this very dangerous protein from its cells and tissues. And it involves 3 natural substances that are available over the counter at any type of online retailer or at a natural food store or pharmacy. And they are nattokinase, which is an enzyme that's derived from the fermentation of soy, bromelain, which is a set of enzymes derived from the stems of pineapple. By the way, bromelain is a U.S. FDA-approved drug as a topical treatment for wounds. And then the third is curcumin, derived from turmeric. The doses of nattokinase are 2,000 units twice a day, bromelain 500 milligrams a day, and curcumin 500 milligrams 3 times a day. The duration in this publication, and I'm the first author, so I'm the one to bring this forward, is at least 3 months. I think for people who have taken multiple shots, 12 months or more.
All right, so real quick, before we get to commenting, gotta give a shout out to Sister Kaylee. Shabbat shalom, sis.
Shabbat shalom, y'all. I totally got the time wrong. Because I'm an hour.
You was thinking about Central?
Yes.
Yeah. No worries.
But I came in at the right time because I'm about to start doing that.
That's great info. I'm gonna do it like over this next couple of weeks. I'm gonna be looking into more about not only what's in this video, but some other things as well that's been on my to-do list. I've put together a document with a lot of the information that we've acquired. The coalition has done a lot of things regarding the detox. And so it's kind of a introductory thing you can do, like a pre-detox where you're just going through like cleanses, parasite cleanses, and preparing your body. And then it goes more into like what to do during the detox. And it has a lot of good information in it. I made a Facebook post earlier in the week about that. And if anybody is looking to do a detox to get rid of those things, right, you can definitely do so. You just reach out and hit me up. I will put the email. Check the email out. Just scrolling across the bottom. Just email me and I will send you what we have. The document is a living document. So as more information comes available, new things gets tweaked, new things gets added. You know, we'll tweak the document and keep the document up to date. But you can reach out to me, email me, and I'll send you that document. And you can get started because it's not a quick process. It takes time, but it's good to get started because you don't want to bite off more than you can chew. Sometimes you need to just focus on this particular area and then focus on the rest of it. So, but yeah, this video it was shocking to me. Something that is specifically targeting one aspect of that, right? Which has been proven to be difficult to get rid of. So I was excited to see that information.
I'm gonna
actually shout out to my wife. She's the one who found it and sent it to me.
I'm gonna need that link in my inbox. But Sean over here is in food mode, so he's flossing his teeth and everything. He's like, he hears the turmeric and he's like, oh, so basically, and then I know this curry chicken. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a fun detox, just eating curry chicken.
And I love some curry too.
I'm sure that everything was curry chicken.
I would just say, yeah, that's actually, obviously really good that they found that. And I would love to see some progression of whoever decides to do that. And like, this is how even they have like blood work or whatever. Hey, this is what it looks before. Now let me do this. And this is what it looks for progression to kind of see if there's changes or see things dissolving or going away or, however that is. That's really good though. So
I could definitely do that because like I can get some blood work done and then I'm gonna get the recipe again from the video because I didn't get a chance to write it down, but I can do that.
Yeah, it's also in a document too.
Okay, cool. So I can do that and then keep track and see how that works for me.
Awesome. Crazy sis.
Yeah.
Well,
All
I have a
praises.
question for you guys. How do you guys? I haven't been to the doctor in years, so how do you guys get blood work done? Just blood work. You don't go in and give the whole medical and everything. Can you just? Where do you go to just take my injection? I mean, withdraw the blood and get that done. Is that possible, or do you have to then use
Yeah. You can do that.
Yeah,
it's possible.
Yeah,
What
you
is
don't
it?
even have to go to the doctor. They have labs you can just go to.
What is it that you're trying to do? What is it that you're trying to find out?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like she said she can get blood work done. So I want to know that. If I want to have my blood tested for any impurities, see if I have the mRNA from any foods I've eaten, because I didn't have the vaccine, but I'd be curious to know if I've been taking in any mRNA from foods that they snuck into my system, you know? So if I wanted to, any kind of test, if I just wanted to get blood work, no, hi, how are you? And let's check if you have diabetes. No, if I just wanted to do that, you can just walk up to a lab without a reference. And which lab are you going to? What kind of lab am I supposed to look for in the?
They're around.
You look like you wanted to say something.
We gotta be careful with the words we using, family. You don't want to get this video taken down. We want more people to get in there. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry.
Either acronyms, create little cute little words. You feel me? You know,
just edit it out when you're done.
I was gonna say beep it out or something.
It's live. It's live. We're live.
Sorry. I like to do trouble, but I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
So as far as I know, there's no test, like, because you can go to a lab and request like a full panel to be drawn. The problem is as far as I know, they have not created a panel that will show specifically if you have it.
Okay.
If you have that specific thing in your system, because even those that have it, when they go to pull a panel, when the doctors pull the panel for them, they're not scanning for that. They're not testing for that. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think what's going to happen is anyone who has blood work done, you'll just have to see the change in your body. Mm-hmm. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you can get tested for heavy metals. You can get tested for mold. You can get tested for so many things, but not that specifically. Mm-hmm. Right? And then just as time goes on, you'll have to see what changes and how it changes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you.
And like Sister Jasmine saying it, speaking of that, Shabbat Shalom to Sister Jasmine. Right on in, rules in the chat. You can write on and drop your views in the chat. So you can definitely check out holistic doctors. She said that you can get your blood drawn with no questions asked. And I remember her saying in the past they are able to like track see that in your blood now. I don't remember specifically what she said, how it's done, but there's ways to be able to determine if you have those things in your blood.
If I could say something, this was probably about 11 years ago. My husband and I, we went and he paid for it online. It was like $100 back then and good forever. But he went, I think it was LabCorp or something. I don't know what they test for, but they had like a list of like 50, 60 different things that they tested for. And he paid for it for us so we could find out what was going on in our bodies. And so I don't know. It's just something that I'd done years ago. So I don't know what's available now. Like
they still have it. You can
sounds like
you can still do it through LabCorp and Quest Diagnostics. You can go directly to their site and pay out of pocket. What I'm saying is there isn't anything right now, as far as I know, specific to testing for that. Like,
and isn't it suspicious?
yeah, it's not like, oh, I know I got it and I want to see if you guys can test and prove that I got it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where you're going to have to test for other stuff and see how those things change over time. And like Jasmine said as well, holistic doctors absolutely will do blood panel tests and stuff for you, like full panels with no questions asked, because they don't have an agenda or anything.
Sister Jasmine said, also follow Dr. Peter McCullough. His team has a way to test for that, and also he has some products that can help as well.
All right, thanks everybody.
So, yeah, you can hit her up too. Also, if you want to know even more information on little places that might be closer in your area that you can do these types of things, you are just one ChatGPT prompt away from getting that information. I use ChatGPT like it's my own personal assistant because it is.
Man, brother saved my life this week, giving me that. I'm telling you, brother, it is life changing. I'll have people who send me videos that are an hour and a half. They're like 3 hours long was the last one. And I mean, it got me so upset. I mean, it really got me so upset. I'm like, I try to tell people I don't have time to watch these kind of long videos. And I had an idea, maybe I should start a YouTube channel just summarizing all these long ass videos for people like me who don't have time to sit and watch a podcast, people hee and ha-haing. And especially these AI videos. And brother is like, you could just put it in ChatGPT and summarize it. Why didn't I think of that? So now I don't have to be rude anymore. I can actually just take the link and say, okay, thank you. And just put it in ChatGPT and it'll summarize it. Oh yeah, now I can talk about it in 10 minutes. It's like, thank you so much. I mean, people might think, why didn't you think of that before? You're so stupid or old. It's like, you don't understand how this is going to change my life. Praise yeah.
Yeah, and if you're having trouble with like the video, or like sometimes ChatGPT's like, I'm having trouble with the video file, especially if it's like a YouTube video. They got little websites where it'll take the YouTube video link and it'll extract the transcript from it, and then you can just copy the transcript, drop that in ChatGPT, and it'll summarize it for you. So no matter what they throw at you, it's a way around it. You can get what you need from everything. I've become somewhat of a professional with this.
You have no idea, brother. I appreciate it so much. And I hope that there's somebody else who hears this live that will say, oh, you can do that too.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, I needed to hear that, Sister Ava, because it's like, yeah, same thing here. I don't have time to sit down and watch a 3-hour video to get 10 minutes worth of information. So
exactly.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you. I appreciate Akeem. Appreciate you both. Thank you. And thank you, Ebony, for filling me in on that. I didn't know about that part. Thank you.
Seriously, thank you.
All right. The next, that video is obviously health related. The next ones are going to be health related too, because it is important for us to get this information out and help other people, or help ourselves too as well. And then we'll get more into like more biblical, theoretical type videos. But this one right here is also awesome as well.
It's the most sophisticated medication on the planet. They have a word that they use to describe it, which translates in English to eating God. It resolves physiological substance dependency within an accelerated time frame. From a psychological perspective, individuals who receive Ibogaine come through the other side with a renewed, or perhaps for the first time, a sense of full ownership of themselves and their future, whereby they no longer view themselves as victims of compulsion or the prisoners of disease. It has a global restorative effect on the organ of the brain. The MRIs after a single Ibogaine treatment revealed the following things within the brains of every one of these veterans. The centers of the brain responsible for emotional regulation and executive functioning grew in size. The average reversal of brain age was 1.5 years, with a cohort of 4 veterans seeing their brains reverse in age by almost 5 years. Ibogaine has significant impact on symptoms of Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, and Lyme disease. I happen to know of an individual who has recently been treated with Ibogaine for multiple sclerosis. This person had to be helped into the clinic by 3 people because of the inability to walk. Following that treatment, this person left walking on their own 2 feet without assistance. The restoration of his functionality was nothing short of a Lazarus-like coming out of the cave. A lot of people look to the sky and ask the Creator, where is the help from heaven? We don't need to be looking for manna from heaven, because the miracle that we have is growing right from the ground. And it's been there for centuries. And it's been there in order for human beings to have opportunities for physical, mental, and spiritual restoration as engineered in nature.
All right, so Ibogaine is a natural thing. I mean, I love what he said about looking up into heaven for manna, because everything grows out from the ground. But we know this is already the truth. The thing about it is we just trying to figure out which natural things grow and how can we use it for these specific purposes. But the Father gave us all of the herbs and grains and fruits to do whatever to our body. We came from the ground ourselves. It only makes sense that to fix it would also come from the ground as well.
You don't want to put the time in. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I said it already. I said we don't want to put the time in.
Well, I don't think it's that we don't want to put the time in. I just think, I mean, some people don't, right? Obviously. But I think also, there's so much of the information being burned and hidden, and we're not, some of our regular systems out here don't teach it to us. You know what I mean? Because I know people who went to medical school and never heard of Ibogaine. Never heard of it. But one of the beautiful things that I think is beautiful is when you have, especially individuals in the medical field, that are willing to go overseas to other countries and other places because they learn things that they wouldn't learn here. You know what I mean? And that's a beautiful thing. So, but one thing I do want to say also, when it comes to anything natural, there's tons of natural remedies, tons of concoctions out there, tons of mixtures, right? And for example, you hear of like milk thistle and magnesium. I mean, obviously everyone needs magnesium, right? Milk thistle, oregano oil. Like there's tons of things out there. But let me be the one to tell you, because I have seen it, I have lived it, I've experienced it. Not everything is for everyone. You know what I mean? And these, like, the dosage I may take of one item based on what my body needs is going to be different from someone else. God created us all differently. What we require is going to be different. Everyone's vitamin D, the amount of vitamin D that everyone needs is going to be different. You know what I mean? So, when you get the information, yes, learn about it, educate yourself, but also educate yourself on your own body. Like Jasmine mentioned, probably one of the best things to do is find a natural, holistic doctor. Another thing that I can encourage you guys to look into is it's called a functional medicine practitioner, because what they do functional medicine doctors or functional medicine practitioner. They are doctors, they're licensed, but the way they provide medical care is very different from, someone in a hospital or someone in a regular doctor's office. And they're the key thing about them, holistic or a functional medicine practitioner or doctor, is they're there to make sure they get you specifically to whatever your levels of optimal health are. Meaning they will run, a full blood panel on you, and they'll say, okay, well, your magnesium needs to be at this level, your vitamin D needs to be at this level, your hormones need to be at this level. They will, your gut health, your gut bacteria needs, they will literally go down the line with you and tell you where all of your levels need to be, versus telling you what a national average is based on, gender or whatever, right? Because we're all so different, be it race, nationality, gene and DNA makeup, and just, you know what I mean? So take the information, learn it, but definitely learn who you are individually, because what works for you is not going to work for the person next to you. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, it's not to say that it won't work for anyone else in the world. It will. It's just not guaranteed to work for your friend that may be trying to lose weight with you. You too may be trying to have to be on different paths of weight loss or getting healthy, or, whatever it is that you're trying to do. So, yeah, I just wanted to put that out there.
Absolutely. Also, want to give a shout out to Sister Natanya. Shabbat Shalom. And I know I gave you guys the shout out first, Brother David. I don't know if you heard, but I gave you guys a shout out. But Shabbat Shalom again.
Shabbat Shalom, brother.
Anybody else?
Have you guys purchased Ibogaine? I'm doing a quick look on Amazon, and I tried to look even just for the Ibogaine root bark instead of probably buying some capsules that people might have developed some stuff or putting placebo stuff in there just to sell it. But I'm not seeing it on Amazon. I'm not seeing just the root bark on anywhere like Mountain Rose Herbs. Where do you guys get it? Do you get it at all?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know that it's something that's because when I looked it up, I think I told my husband it's considered
commercially available, maybe not yet.
No, it's not commercial. It's considered a scheduled drug, or a Schedule 2 or something like that, which means it's considered felony. I think it's a felony or misdemeanor, technically, based on the schedule class that it falls under here in the U.S. I think it's a schedule. It's on like drug, like, when you look at the way, the U.S. classifies drugs. I looked it up and I was like, ooh, that might be jail time if somebody is found with it. But if you heard him talk, it was done, mind you, in like a facility. So obviously, it was done in like a treatment center, and it was done, I believe, on veterans. And this is the thing. Hospitals can give you whatever drug you want. Most of the time, I don't know if you guys watch any of these medical shows. When you go in with serious gunshots and stab wounds and stuff like that, they give you fentanyl, pure fentanyl, not something mixed with fentanyl. They give you pure fentanyl. And fentanyl, as we all know, is absolutely addictive, but it's necessary for the pain, for them to get through what they have to do for the patient. They don't give it to them for a long period of time because they don't want them to get addicted. But do you get what I'm saying? So medical facilities are allowed to, provide this type of care and use that type of, class of drug, be it natural or not, because they just have those capabilities. So I don't believe it's something you're going to ever find on the market. So once again, you have to find a holistic or, practitioner or something like that will have the authority to have access to that, to then do what needs to be done.
And isn't that interesting that you can't get it? I'm even looking to see if I could even find the seeds for the plant on eBay, and
I'm
they're not
telling you, I won't be surprised if you can't.
Yeah, there's tons of books and shirts about iboga, and it's like, no, you can't get it. So what's the point of saying I love iboga and you can't get it?
Yeah, but there's a will, there's a way. Somehow the way we'll figure it out. We'll find it. It's one of the things on my to-do list. I want to find how to be able to get access to those things without having to go to jail for the rest of your life. But next up, we got this one. This one was shocking, slightly disheartening, but it's good information to have. Reminded me about when I found out that gelatin came from pigs, and I love gummy bears, so I was a little down in the dumps for a little while, but
Pork, I got bad news for you. I'm at Publix right now and I'm gonna show you something. You see this ingredient right here? Monodiglyceride. It's in almost every single bread product in Publix, which means that you're eating pork if you eat bread from Publix. Look at it right there. It's in all of these. Bro, I can't eat nothing. But some of these right here actually don't have it. This is the Cuban bread and it's safe. Look, you see the ingredients? This one is good too. The point I'm trying to tell you is that you need to actually read. Oh, wait. Let me show you something else. Okay, now I'm in this section, the hostess. You see that right there, mono and diglyceride? See right here, it says it can be derived from plant sources, including pork. They are not going to tell you if it's actually from plants or pork. More than likely, it will be from pork. And the crazy thing about it is that it's not just bread, it's cakes, it's cookies, it's crackers. Y'all really need to be mindful when y'all start buying a whole bunch of this stuff, especially if you don't eat pork. Chick-fil-A's bread got it. Burger King's bread got it. Wendy's bread got it. The only one that I saw that didn't have it was Five Guys. But it's insane how they're just sneaking pork into all our food. And if you watch this video all the way to the end and put it in the comments, stop sneaking pork in my food. That way I know you watched it, okay? Bye! And make sure you share this with a friend who doesn't eat pork. That way they know. Bye!
Man, we can't have nothing.
I seen that video recently too, and but they do have as far as like a beef gelatin, like for gummy bears, because I came to that issue before. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was like, oh man, or without even gelatin. I think you can make it even without gelatin now. They so creative with the way. That's why I think it's important to more and more we just get used to learning how to cook that stuff at home. That as much as it could be inconvenient, but that's something I recently ventured into, like maybe a few months ago, actually, not even that long ago. I didn't really care for cooking. I always just felt like it was a burden. Just felt always exhausted just thinking about it. But I just kind of changed my mindset and said, okay, and I started making stuff from like scratch, like whether it's cookies, pizza, whatever, ice cream, just food. And now I kind of enjoy it. And yesterday I just made like a homemade pizza, and it came out like awesome. I was like, man, great. So, but yeah, we got to just learn to cook more and more from home, because it's like this commercial stuff is it's toxic, it's poison.
Facts. Yep. Specifically about the beef gelatin, the Walmart Great Value gummy bears and gummy worms, they use beef gelatin, not regular gelatin. So if you're a gummy lover like myself and you've been staying away from all gummies, you can go to that and get it. You don't have to worry about the regular gelatin. It's beef gelatin.
Sour Patch Kids was my favorite growing up. Can't have it anymore.
I wanted to ask a question on that, actually. We're not supposed to eat the fat, but is it okay to have beef tallow? Like, I assume that was kind of like lard from pork, except for, it comes from beef. It comes from the cow. Are we allowed to eat that?
Beef tallow?
Yes.
It's beef, yeah.
Okay. I thought because it derived from the fat I wasn't sure. But then yet butter comes from fat too, from the cow. So
it's really healthy for you, like beef tallow, when you cook fries or food in it, compared to like the seed oils. And it's actually really good for your skin. Like if you didn't know, beef tallow, you can use it on your skin for like acne or whatever stuff, and it help clear up your skin and keep it healthy because of the nutrients in beef tallow. So yeah, like a face cream, body cream, it's really good for that too.
I've been seeing that, but has anybody tried it, like with cooking? Is it good? Does it taste good?
Yeah, I use it for cooking and my skin, and yeah, it works great.
Is what good?
Beef tallow.
It's supposed to be one of the best things you could fry your food in, especially if you like fried food. But it's really good, extremely good for skincare. A lot of people are now moving over to beef tallow for skincare.
I'm about to get some of that.
Especially as a moisturizer. The one thing I have heard in regards to beef tallow is it will, if you like to fry your food, whatever you cook it in, it will add a slightly beefy like taste, but it's not like overwhelming. I don't know how true that is because I've never cooked with it. It's funny because I've been telling my husband I need to go to the meat market and get some, and that's what we're going to use whenever we fry and stuff. But
yeah, it's a little, you know, when you add seasonings to it, I mean, it tastes great. Like once you fry, yeah, you may just have like a little that beefy smell, but you know, that's everything has its own like smell. It's not like bad, but then once you fry in it tastes fine. It actually tastes great. Then you just add your seasonings to like your fries or whatever you cook it in, and it tastes great. Like there's no like, oh, it has like an aftertaste or anything. No, it's great because I use it all the time.
Does it look like butter or is it more like a Vaseline?
It looks
like a cream, yeah, kind of like coconut oil, sort of. It kind of looks.
I was gonna say it looks almost exactly like coconut oil.
Yeah,
especially when it's solid in the like if you whatever jar you keep it in. But when it melts down, it's kind of like a yellow, a pale yellow or yellow color.
Yeah, like a cream. Then it kind of sounds like a cream, like a moisturizer. It's like a moisturizer. It's like put in a little jar. You keep it in your counter. You don't have to necessarily refrigerate it. It doesn't go bad. But I keep the big in my fridge, but let it kind of warm up a little before I scoop out, put some in my jar, put it in my bathroom. But it doesn't like go bad either. So.
Okay. Well, I don't have a Costco's, but I'm sure somebody somewhere sells it.
I mean, there's a good brand on Amazon, I guess, like a grass-fed, you know, that's and they put it on their jar that is grass-fed. They don't use like the hormones and stuff in their cows. So I have a brand that I use from Amazon. I can.
So be extremely careful for all of you that are buying it. The only reason I personally haven't bought it is because I've come to find out that the way they process everything in this wonderful USA that we live in is not good. And so a lot of the beef tallow that you buy from all of the suppliers, it's not sourced well. So when you look at the back and you look at the ingredients, or you research the company and how they process it, it's not 100% beef tallow. There's other stuff in it. And that's what doesn't make it good. But if you guys can find literally a butcher shop wherever you live, you can actually literally go say, hey, do you guys have the leftover beef fat? And they will give it to you. And it's from what I understand, it's way cheaper to do that because you get the beef fat. They put it in a bag for you. You go home and you put it in your slow cooker. And it is a process, but at least that way, you know, it's 100% beef tallow.
Yeah. And that's super good.
All right.
Just be careful.
That's amazing because we have a cow farm not too far from us, and like literally, they treat these cows so good. They put fans on them.
Seriously,
it's really awesome. It's like we've got a farm. I'll try that, Ebony. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Ebony.
Check that on out.
There's tons of YouTube videos. So many people have the step-by-step of how to render down your own natural beef tallow. So it's easy.
Awesome. All right, moving on to the next video. We talk about fasting all the time on here, but this is something else that a lot of people may not have heard.
Production increase if I fast.
The longer in the longer fast, yeah.
Is that
3 days is the research was 24 hours for gut repair, so you get intestinal stem cells, but for systemic stem cells, 3 days, 72 hours.
And those systemic stem cells can do what for me?
They can go anywhere in your body and repair anything.
So if I have a toe injury, I had a toe injury recently. I played this football match called Soccer Aid. I was thinking in the lead up to it, I really need to make sure that my toe is healed because it had some like inflammation. The joint had I think I'd almost dislocated it. I was thinking, it did cross my mind. Did cross my mind. Maybe I should fast for a couple of days to help accelerate the repair so that I can play in this big football match, which was in London, almost 50,000 people there on this particular day, which was about 2 weeks away. So would fasting help me in that situation?
The story I always use is that I had an Achilles tendon injury, and I tried everything, and it was like not healing. I couldn't work out. It was really bumming me out. And so my last resort, I was like, okay, let me throw a 3-day water fast at it. On the third day, I just started to notice that the pain was a little less. And a lot of that is just because the inflammation's coming down, the stem cells were starting to kick in. By the end of the third day, I'm like, I think the pain's like 50% gone. So I thought, let me stick with this. And how long can I go until the pain's completely gone? So I ended up going 5 full days in a fasted state. On the 5th day, the pain was completely gone. And to this date, it has never come back. What happened? That has to be stem cells being active in my body, going in there and repairing that Achilles tendon. I didn't do anything that week. I didn't take supplements. I didn't do any fancy treatments. I literally went into a 5-day water fast and my body figured out how to get the stem cells to where they needed to go.
So yeah, we talk about fasting all the time, but it has so many different benefits.
Hallelujah.
Healing, detoxing, purging, rejuvenating.
We Sean and I went through a 28-day cleanse recently, and by the second week we both had eczema. We already have winter eczema that people have to deal with up here in the north, but it just came out worse for Sean than me because he was compromised. And like they say to do the detox a second time. Well, hello. Each detox is $480 plus tax. So we spent $1,000 to do this thing in detox, only to have all the toxins from the fat cells come out and start this eczema with us both. Well, I got over it, and Sean hasn't. So I've been wondering if doing a fast for him, even though he's so skinny. That's the only reason why I haven't put him on a fast, is that he has lost so much weight. But I'm wondering if that would heal the problem that he has. So it's encouraging to hear that. To I should get him on a fast, even though he's already underweight, and just clear up all these things once and for all.
Something you can try for how small he might be is it's called ADF, so alternate day fasting. So fasting for 24 hours, then allowing him to eat at least during a short, kind of like an intermittent fast, a shortened time frame during the next day, so at least he gets something in his system. Just make sure when he eats the next day, or every time he eats, that obviously it's clean, health. When I say clean and healthy, I mean salads, preferably fish if there's going to be meat, instead of like chicken and other stuff like that, because unless you know for sure that the chicken or beef or whatever you're eating is like raised well, no hormones and no other stuff, but pretty much eat one day, fast one day, eat one day, fast, and do that and see for like a week if it helps it clear it up. Because with him being as small as he is, he still may need to take in something, but he should at least at minimum be able to make it for 24 hours. I would say try that first, and if he can and is willing to push himself to do 48 hours, then try that, and then eat a meal, and then try and go another 48. But just so that way, to see if it helps clear it up.
And in that case, that day that he's fasting, you're saying that water is okay? Or you're saying that no, go like Moses, fast, or is no water?
No. Water, definitely water. Definitely water when he's pretty much like a water fast. So it's okay to take in water and any healthy teas and stuff like that. But if he's gonna do tea, it has to be no sweeteners in it. So no honey, no sugar, no nothing. Just the tea leaves or the tea bag and the water.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I would say try that first.
When fasting, you can also do like vegetable broth. You don't want to have anything solid, because the solids is what causes your digestive system to activate. But you can do vegetable broth. Just boil some vegetables and strain it off, and drink that too. That puts minerals in your system, which is good for you. And if you get pea protein, you don't want anything solid, but when you get the pea protein, it's already broken down, so you're not having to digest it, right? It just goes straight into your system with no digestion. It's the digestion process that causes that puts the strain on the body and everything. Yeah. So if you drink pea protein and vegetable broth, some tea and water, but nothing solid, that's a good way to fast, and it puts the minerals and the protein in your system that you need.
There you go.
All right, thank you guys.
of you is a piece of paper with a circle and a pair of scissors. I want you to pick up the pair of scissors and put it to the side. We're not going to need this quite yet. If you did accidentally cut the paper, don't worry. There is a roll of tape on the table next to you. I want you to pick up that tape and place it off to the side with the scissors. We're not going to need it quite yet.
It do be like that though. It do be like that though. We be trying to do things ourselves.
Yes.
But I thought I slid a couple funnies in here. You know, I'm glad your mic was turned off, sis. That was a good reaction right there. Or that was a righteous reaction right there. This next one is, I love seeing scientific evidence of biblical events. I love it.
Look at that one too.
They finding seashells on the top of mountains.
That's Noah's Ark right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen.
I love it.
Like you said, scientific. This other video, there was some scientific video. I forget which one, but yeah, similar to this, to where they were going to like mountains like that. It was like dry as a bone, and then they were cutting into the mountain. You've seen like fish bone, like the what do you call it when the imprint of the fish bone scale that's like imprinted in there, and all these different sea creatures. They're like, okay, there's no reason for these to even be here unless this was submerged underwater. But yeah,
yeah, the fossils.
Yeah, the fossils. I was like, what do they call it again? The fish fossils and other sea creature fossils. There's no way for that to be there unless there was water present there, and it was deeply submerged underwater. So
don't feel bad. I forgot the word too. I had to think about it for a second.
But yeah, so that's, I just think more and more that truth is starting to come out. Like you said, in the end, like the truth will increase. And I just think we're kind of in that time where information and truth is starting to increase more and more.
Facts.
Have you guys noticed Neil deGrasse regressing on a lot of things in Schwartz recently? It's like, is he starting to wake up or something?
I just think that more people are becoming aware of what the truth is, and his dumb lies and the stupid explanations he gives are no longer holding up in court.
Exactly.
But yeah, like that's the smartest idiot I've ever seen.
You look like you're entering another realm there with your behind you. You're disappearing.
I just fade into the.
Well, you know what, sis?
I was going over the curve of the earth. That's why y'all couldn't see me. Well, this next one, I actually, it made me interested to kind of look into it a little bit more. But she has a very interesting perspective, I would say, on the eye of the Most High. Very interesting.
Literally keeps his eye on us. This is the most mind-blowing thing I've ever discovered, and I still can't fathom it. I asked God to help me with this verse from Matthew 6. The light of the body is the eye. This was standing out to me so much, and I couldn't figure out why. So 2 nights ago, I randomly heard him say, go and get your planisphere. If you don't know what a planisphere is, it's a double-sided star finder. One side has the northern hemisphere, the other side has the southern hemisphere. He says, rip it apart and look at it. So at this point, I'm thinking he's answering a different question that I've been asking, which is, how can Polaris not be seen in the southern hemisphere? So I take it apart and I'm looking at it and I'm like, seems like they fill each other's negative space. And each side has these things called declination lines, which determines which stars you'll be able to see. So I said, let me get a piece of paper and I'm gonna trace both sides onto one sheet of paper so that I can see what the declination lines and everything look like all on one circle. And then I remembered this video I had saved to my phone. I slowed it down so it's easier to see. This is a video of Polaris. Just wait for the scripture I'm about to hit you guys with. Psalms 32:8 says, I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shalt go. I will guide thee with mine eye. And remember, wayfarers use the North Star to be guided. The light of the body is the eye. Psalms 13:3, light up my eyes. Job 34:21, for his eyes are upon the ways of man, and he seeth all his going. Psalms 33:13, the Lord looketh from heaven, he beholdeth all the sons of men. 1 Peter 3:12, for the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous. In ancient Hebrew, the word is sometimes related to the idea of seeing or gazing because in ancient Near Eastern cultures, the throne was often seen as a symbol of the king's or deity's all-seeing eye. It relates to spectator, beholder, to see, to behold, and let's not forget that the throne angels are covered in eyes. I was excited because I thought that God was showing me that Polaris isn't able to be viewed from the southern hemisphere because of the slope of the dome, which was awesome to begin with. But then it turned into this, and I don't know about you guys, but knowing that he is literally keeping an eye on us makes me feel so much better about everything. This was my absolute favorite thing that he has ever guided me to find, and I hope that you guys liked it too.
Wow, like you said, it's very interesting. Wow, that's never heard that before. That, you know, maybe it makes sense. You know, could make sense because Polaris is there and doesn't move and everything rotates around. I mean, it's interesting. That was good. I like it.
Yeah. You said, you said everything that went in my mind. You're picking up what I was putting down. Very interesting. Make you want to go do some research, don't it?
And then, you know, also you got it talks about the rainbow of emerald around the throne and the aurora borealis up at the north. You know, it's it looks like a emerald rainbow. You know.
Yeah,
that it does.
That's a good point too. Yeah.
All right, this one. Now we're going kind of getting into more so just good proverb sayings, good perspectives to make you think and kind of apply to life. This one's right here. This one actually, I'll put on the spot a little bit. This one's from Sister Kaylee, so y'all can thank her after we play.
Frustrated. I'm trying to listen to God. I got my own flesh pulling me here, my own desires, my family, my friends, all these things is distracting me from the truth, and it's difficult. But if you can go through it, you'll come out like gold. If I can go through the fire. They don't want to go through the fire. They want the lotto and go to Jamaica and the Bahamas and do their own selfish thing. But he said, if you wait till I exalt you, I give you the desires of your heart. You know what I'm saying? Everybody hurry. I don't know where they going, but when they get there, ooh, they're going to be sorry. The faster you try to get there, that career, that money, and you're going to figure it out that, man, it was the journey, not the destination. You was in a hurry to get there, to come up, to be this, to be that. And when you get there, you're going to feel discouraged more than you did before you even started to get there. Cause it was the journey, the people that you didn't stop to talk to like me, the people at the gas station. You was in a hurry to get there, but it's the journey, not the destination. Cause the destination is steadily evolving. We always growing in wisdom and knowledge and understanding. It's always evolving.
Preach.
You know, I remember, I think, seeing it like a couple of years ago, like a more extensive clip, and he was like a homeless guy, and I forget if they either gave him the food that he had in his hand or something came to the car, but he just started speaking that word to them. They just couldn't help but just like listen, and like, you know, they're like, wow, this guy is giving us a good word. But yeah, he was like just like homeless guy. You think he's just like a random homeless guy sitting on the street that's just whatever, but then he came in with that like powerful word. It's like, wow.
Yep.
Yeah. That was playing for y'all because it didn't play for me. The whole time it had the little spinning circle of death.
Oh man, that sucks. Yeah, it played for me. Yeah.
You missed it. I'll send it to you.
All right. All right.
But basically, he was the video saying it's the journey, not the destination. A lot of times we get consumed with trying to get to whatever it is we're trying to get to, whether it's a goal, whether it's a job, whether it's a certain amount of money, or whatever the case may be. We take for granted and we don't pay attention to the journey along the way, and that's where we learn our lessons. That's where we get that experience. That's where we, find a lot of enlightenment and revelation. We think it's the destination, but when we get to the destination, we realize, it was what we learned along the way, not necessarily getting to the destination.
Yep. Amen. So true.
That is so true. And he has like a whole, like, that was just a small segment of his video. I think the total length is like 10 minutes. But TikTok, like you see a lot of like homeless people preaching the gospel on TikTok live. Like this one guy, he was saying that he was living out in the woods. Because people would, like, officers and cops would constantly try to come up and harass him, and he's not doing anything except just reading his Bible and chilling. So he went off to the woods, and then he said the Lord blessed him with a car, and so then it was, he constantly had to move and stuff like that because, again, they were still on his butt. He tried to go out in the woods. Park rangers came up, said that he can't be there, and I was watching his live for a minute. And then, like, I left. I was running some errands. I came back, for the night because I was getting ready to wind down. And he was still in the same spot, leaning up against, like, a parking lot pole in the same spot with the Bible, still preaching. I was just like, dang. What am I doing? I don't know.
It be like that. People make you think like, man, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing?
Hebrews 13:2 says, "Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares." Mm-hmm. And there's the teaching from the Messiah that says, treat the least of these, because when you do, you've entertained me.
That is so true. And I think I shared it with y'all. It's a personal story of mine. If you want to hear it, you can go to the video. I'll send you the link because I did a whole spiritual encounter series of like the different spiritual encounters I had in my life. But I definitely encountered an angel through a stranger, and it was one of the most important lessons I learned in life. You never know when you'll be tested. You never know. That's big facts, sis.
I think also something that people sleep on is it's sad that it takes sometimes individuals to lose, material items. Not to say that this is how homeless people are, right? But most homeless individuals are happy with just the most basic, simple things in life. They are grateful for a meal. They're not picky about the meal. They're just grateful to be able to eat. You know what I mean? They're grateful just to be able to have a roof over their heads. They're grateful. It shouldn't take us to wind up in certain situations to start learning how to be grateful with simple things in life. I recently had a conversation with a friend. He moved, mind you, and he's very well off financially. If he isn't a millionaire, he's knocking on the door to being a millionaire. And mind you, he's I think a year younger than me. So he's about 37 right now. And he moved overseas. And he was like, it's so crazy. He's like, I live off of $1,000. He's single, no kids, no wife. He lives off $1,000 a month. And he was like, it's crazy how my life is so simple now. Like, I don't, of course I don't want for anything financially, but I don't have a desire for the same things I had when I was, in the States. He was like, being overseas, he was like, it's so different. You look at life differently. You desire different things. And he was like, I literally live a basic day-to-day life. I'm not trying to be lavish. I'm not trying to be. And he was like, who thought life could be so simple and I be so happy at the same time? And I said, that's really what it's supposed to be, but it's sad because, here in the US, they project, to be happy, you have to live a certain kind of lifestyle, which isn't true.
Similar to that, I had a friend some years ago. She was born here, so she's her ethnicity like Filipino, but she her mom was from the Philippines, so they got here. She's born here, so she's born and raised here. And she was telling us this story. She's like, yeah, so I was kind of like rebellious when I was a kid, just ungrateful, all this stuff. She said, so what my mom did, she sent me to the Philippines, like to go stay with my family there. It's like we had to literally squat in holes in the ground to use the bathroom. Like she said, that humbled me so much. When I came back, I thanked her and told her I was sorry for being ungrateful for everything here. So she got sent to go live kind of in the third world piece of the Philippines and came back, and she was very humbled after seeing how they had to live, how she had to live. So yeah, similar to what you're saying, like when you get culture and you travel the world, that's why I think it is important if you're, to be able to travel the world or get culture, because once you just kind of stay in a box, you don't really get that full view or understand, like I said, being grateful for other stuff when you see how other people are in other countries in the world. So yeah, it's like it definitely changes your perspective when you can get culture and see other things in other people.
Facts.
What is brother Professor S eating? He told on you the other day. Brother Akeem told on you that you can just wolf down food. It's like an egg roll.
You muted. Joe, you muted.
He's getting red.
I do. I was listening when he said that, and I do. I eat a lot. I don't know. I don't know why.
Professor M for metabolism.
Professor M.
So what are you eating? Tell us what you're eating. So
maybe he's a real X-Men. You're a real X-Men.
Mozzarella sticks.
Mozzarella stick.
Oh, okay.
Mozzarella sticks.
Well, we'll be eating lamb coming up here in a week for Passover. But speaking of lamb, here's a video about sheep.
Their only defense mechanism is to run. They have to rely on the shepherd for everything, for their food, for their shelter, for their water, for shading, to protect them even from insects. Nose flies will try to land and plant eggs in their nostrils. And if they're successful, the eggs will hatch and bury themselves in the flesh of the nostril canal and even to the brain. So then sheep will bang their heads against rocks and against trees and against any hard surface because there's an internal struggle that they can't get freedom from. And the shepherd will see that and will take oil and anoint their head. The oil will reach into the nostril canal and up into the brain and pull out all of the larvae and all of the eggs and everything, pulling all of that out. It provides a layer of protection to seal around the nostril so that doesn't happen again. But the oil also heals the wounds and the trauma and that was left behind from them banging their heads on a rock. Sometimes the sheep will die because they bang their head against a rock too much and it kills them in the process. So it's like suicidal. Yeah. So like when I'm sitting there reading this, I'm a mess with it. And God was like, look around at your industry. Look around at your peers. There's a lot of depression. There's a lot of suicide. There's a lot of people doing things that are not becoming and not befitting of who they are as a person. But that's them trying to bang their heads against the rock to get everything that's like tormenting them out. I'm weeping. I'm like, God, I need you to anoint our heads.
I didn't know that about sheep.
Yeah.
I didn't know it about sheep until about 20. I want to say it was like 2019. Professor S actually said it. It was one of those random bits of wisdom, informational gems that he drops. But yeah, very definitely information. All of that was facts that he said.
Where do you guys get your lamb?
It just depends.
Depends on what. It's not at my Walmart. So where do you guys get? The last time I bought lamb, like a little tea steak, was $25. That was 2 or 3 years ago. So I'm wondering where anybody else gets theirs.
Aldi.
Walmart.
Usually Kroger has it, or Publix.
Okay, don't have Kroger or Publix.
I don't know if you have a Aldi, but they sell lamb steaks. You can get 2 thick pieces of lamb steaks for like $11.
Ooh, I do have Aldi. Okay.
But you're gonna have to go like periodically because sometimes I'll go to Aldi and they'll have it, and then other times I'll go and they'll just have like lamb chops or they'll have like ground lamb. So you kind of gotta go like a few days out the week just to see when they put it out.
Okay.
Well, hey, if you get some ground lamb, you can make a good shepherd's pie.
There he goes, Professor Food.
But yeah, Brother David said that they ordered theirs online and it came in freeze dried packaging.
Yeah,
we also saw some on Amazon, because we're gonna cook a lot of lamb this Passover because we're gonna have people coming in from out of town to fellowship with us. And
Sometimes sorry, finish, babe.
It was a decent amount of lamb, and it wasn't too bad in price either. So you can also look on Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon has Amazon Fresh, and they have warehouses everywhere, all over the states. And same thing with Kroger as well.
I hope Amazon does right on the price, because the other day I was checking out their fresh food and it's like $24 for a pound of broccoli. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
No, not to when I do buy meat, I do get it from like the online butchers. But one place is goodchop.com. I think they have ground lamb, or they might have other types of lamb, but I don't know how much it is, but you can at least go check it out, goodchop.com, and they're pretty quick with delivery, and it comes freeze dried as well, all frozen. Goodchop.com.
Yeah, we get our meat from Good Rancher. Sister Jasmine put us on. And the quality of the meat is good, but you're gonna pay for it. Like, it's expensive.
If you go on, I just looked it up and found it. If you go on, I just lost it. Grasslandbeef.com. They have lamb. You can get whole legs. You can get all kinds of stuff. But they've got, and it's all grass fed too.
Brother David said Wild Fork as well. The company is called Wild Fork. But
there's a few of them.
They've also got organ meats if you're into that. You can get kidneys and all kinds of stuff, hearts. And
yeah, I think a few of them, like the Good Ranchers, Good Shop, they possibly get their stuff from the same place, but it's U.S. based. They don't use hormones and all this grass fed stuff. So it's like I noticed that once I switched from buying store bought meat to that, you totally taste it. It was like, wow, this is.
It's a big difference in taste.
Huge difference.
It definitely.
If you're digesting, you can feel it's like clean. You just feel you don't have that rough digestion and bloating, from store meat. At least I used to get that when I would eat store meat. Once I switched, don't even happen at all. Zero. So.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad Brother David said something about vaccinations. That's part of why I haven't eaten meat in a long time. It's not because I want to be vegetarian. I'm trying to avoid those 4 letters I mentioned earlier. So I was gonna go the Aldi route because Sister Kaylee knows me, but I'll check out these other guys to see if they don't have vaccinations.
The V word.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Girl, you keep.
The movie Demolition Man. Yeah, guys remember Demolition Man when he was like swearing they had like the tickets come out each time he said a swear, so he used for toilet paper.
I'm not a YouTuber. I don't have this ingrained in me. I'm sorry. I don't mean to do that. But look, I didn't even say the 4-letter word. I was trying.
Listen, people, if you go on my YouTube channel and you see Shabbat Talk 137 and then it skips to 139, just get out of the live and go to the regular one. I'm gonna have to upload this again.
All right. Tell you what I'll do, brother. You know the money that you earn from the videos, whatever money you didn't earn from this one, I'll pay you. All right. Even though
He doesn't earn it. It's not monetized. He doesn't earn anything.
Yeah, that's why I said that. I'll pay him what he would normally get paid.
$3 million cash.
Yeah, I don't make money. I don't be making any money from these videos. That's why if anybody want to donate, that's why that little cash app be going around at the bottom of this.
It's a thought that counts, brother. It's a thought that counts.
Yeah, I appreciate you. This next one is something that's really gonna make you guys think. And because a lot of times we find ourselves in bad situations and we wonder how we're gonna get out, and we kind of can go in a downward spiral and just get depressed and all of these things. But there's always a way to have a positive mindset and potentially get yourself out of that situation too. Or I would say, better yet, have a positive mindset and allow Elohim to work on your behalf and get you out of that situation. But
actually like briefly heard of it before, but this is the first time I've seen it like typed out. So I don't know who came up with it.
Someone cool,
Somebody
probably.
good.
Yeah.
Okay? But it goes like this. A parable is told of a farmer who owned an old mule. The mule fell into the farmer's well. The farmer heard the mule braying, or whatever mules do when they fall into wells. And after carefully assessing the situation, the farmer sympathized with the mule, but decided that neither the mule nor the well was worth the trouble of saving. Instead, he called his neighbors together and told them what had happened and enlisted them to help haul dirt to bury the old mule in the well and put him out of his misery. First of all, that's ruthless.
That is
Anyways,
ruthless.
Initially, the old mule was hysterical, but as the farmer and his neighbors continued shoveling and the dirt hit his back, a thought struck him. It suddenly dawned on him that every time a shovel load of dirt landed on his back, he should shake it off and step up. This he did blow after blow. Shake it off and step up. Shake it off and step up. Shake it off and step up. He repeated to encourage himself. No matter how painful the blows or distressing the situation seemed, the old mule thought to panic and just kept right on shaking it off and stepping up. You're right, it wasn't long before the old mule, battered and exhausted, stepped triumphantly over the wall of that well. What seemed like it would bury him actually blessed him, all because of the manner in which he handled his adversity. That's life. If we face our problems and respond to them positively and refuse to give in to panic, bitterness, or self-pity, the adversities that come along to bury us usually have within them the potential to benefit and bless us.
Wow.
So sweet.
Well, I just want to say,
Yeah,
I can't
definitely.
believe they didn't want to save the mule.
Man, and that up music just got me. I wanted to cry until she started saying that you're stepping up. That's so true. That's so powerful. I love that one.
Yeah, definitely. It's a powerful message showing you that, whenever we get hit with life, which we all do, it's easy to think negative or get depressed, which obviously we're human. We're going to have emotions, but don't let it drag you down or keep you again in that pit to where you just get buried. That's why it's good to fellowship, to read, to talk to y'all every day, and because it's the only way you're going to get through those hard times and be able to keep pushing yourself. But yeah, that was a powerful story.
Absolutely. And then also, when you finally keep shaking it off, stepping up and getting out of the well, share your testimony with someone else, because they might be in a well of their own and they don't have the idea to shake it off and step up. Your testimonies are powerful, family.
That was kind of sad, but it was beautiful. Had a beautiful ending. I love that. It speaks a lot to life in general, like you just said. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Y'all can thank Sister Kaylee because she sent me a lot, and they're gonna come out over the next several righteous reactions, but and it's only right to follow that sad but sombering video with a little bit of giggles. So
How'd you get that video of me? Just curious. I'm just saying.
I love that video, especially when she comes around the corner and she got her tongue out and she just bites man, but lately that's been me because my coworkers, there's this one girl, right? All my coworkers are talking about like just random stuff, inappropriate stuff, whatever. She always wanna single me out, talking about some, oh yeah, don't ask her that. She trying to be holy. She living
Yes.
And this is the same friend. Well, we were friends at one point. Well, kind of coworkers, but lately she's been trying to hang out with me. Like, it's so weird. She'll literally say like, oh, I miss you so much and I just love when you work with us, and like we need to hang out and we need to do this and we need to do that. And then the next she's saying little slick comments and I'm like, no, I know what you're doing. I've been standing 10 toes down. I've been doing great, and I just have a feeling that the enemy is trying to, like, I don't know. I'm just scared of being around like certain people and energies because it's so weird. It's so weird.
You nicer than me, because I'd have told her. I'd have been like, so
I don't know
1
what to
second.
say.
I'd blow her spot in front of everybody. I'd be like, it's funny how you want to sit here and tell me in front of everybody how I'm trying to be so holy. But when no one else is around, you're telling me we need to hang out and we need to go here and we need to go there. Why would I want you as my friend if in front of everybody you want to talk shit to me, but then behind my back you want to be, you know what I'm saying, all cool and stuff? How about let's just be coworkers and be amicable and peaceful at work? But don't be back and forth, because when you're not with them and it's just me and you, oh, you want to hang out, but you want to make fun of me when everyone else is around. The lifestyle I choose is a lifestyle. I'm not pushing or forcing my lifestyle on you. If you don't like that I'm trying to be holy, well, then that's fine. We don't got to be friends.
It's not the first time I've thought this, but Sister Ebony and Brother Akeem are business people. I think Sister Ebony used to start a rental service, like rent a friend, because there's lots of times I would like Sister Ebony to be right there and be my mouthpiece for me. So you'd make a lot of money just off of me, just renting you out.
Hey, let me tell you something. The wrong person would rent me out and I'd probably be in jail.
Oh man.
Another side, Sister Kaylee, what I thought about just now too, on top of what Sister Ebony just said, I was to keeping that on the front too, is maybe because you are quote unquote being holy, it's because sometimes people don't know how to handle that, to where maybe you're brushing off on her, like, wow, this person is not caving in, and maybe she wants to experience that, or maybe that's a call out or cry out. Who knows? Maybe, like I said, if you hang out with her and she still is secular, then okay, no. But maybe if you hang out with her, you spread the gospel, and maybe that reaches her, possibly. So that's just something that popped to my mind. Maybe she's trying to reach out, because sometimes people, they do stuff, but then they're really seeing, wow, this person is standing out. They're different. They're set apart. They're Kodesh. Possibly, who knows? But that's just something else to add in there.
Based off of what you just said, Brother Greg, it could be that she's feeling convicted
for
her lifestyle, And so that's why she wants to put you on blast to kind of minimize everyone looking at her and what the decisions she makes.
Because when I do that situation, someone like that, if they want to hang out, okay, maybe I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and try to hang out with them, but then I'll be very observant to see, okay, are we hanging out there? Is this person shady? Are they just look like they're trying to reach out? But if this looks like they're just trying to hang out or not, and they want, oh, you want to go smoke? You want to go to the bar? Okay, this person's trying to corrupt me, so no, thank you. But if they maybe, well, what do you read? What you read the Bible? Why are you so good? Like that to me is a reach out. So you kind of have to fill out which one it is. Then from there, you can decide, okay, continue or nope. Okay, let's close this door. At least I tried, and she's not really wanting the spiritual side.
Well, I already kind of know what she's trying to do, because like it's funny because last year the Lord used her to convict me because we were at work and the conversation like got brought up like with drinking and stuff, and she was asking me questions, and she's like, well, what's the purpose of you even trying to have a drink if you're not supposed to get drunk? And then I'm like, well, I mean, you can have a drink, like you don't necessarily have to like get drunk. Like Messiah, he drunk wine and stuff, like the cliche, like that's how I'm talking. And she's like, but obviously today's liquor and wine is not the same as biblical times, and wine is different than you drinking like a mixed drink with vodka or tequila. So what's the point of you even having one drink when the purpose to drink anyways is to get drunk? You're basically being a hypocrite. And like she was just chewing me up, eating me alive. And I didn't really respond. And then I thought about it and I'm like, okay, the Most High is using her to like speak to me. I mean, I can get mad and I can have like a spirit of offense, but then like she was right, because then after that I brought that back to Brother Akeen, and then there is a difference between like strong drink and things of that, and what that is used for. And so yeah, the dynamic is so weird. But last night when I was at work, she was trying to, like, everybody was gonna go out and get some food and drink and all this and that, and she kept trying to get me to come, and she's like, well, I've been wanting to hang out with you, what about quality time? I said, girl, what am I gonna do, look at y'all? I said, I don't even listen to that music. There ain't nothing for me. TT gotta go to bed.
I know that's right.
Praise you, sister, for staying strong and not giving, because it can be hard sometimes, especially the peer pressure, and just staying strong. So good, good job for you.
Yes, hallelujah.
And what's crazy is she's 30. She's 30.
Mm-hmm. Supposed to be an example to you. Mm-hmm. Yep. Bad
Definitely
example.
sounds like some conviction.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It reminds me of a lot of the African shorts I'll see out there. It's like, that's the devil. I said, yep, that's the devil. That's the devil, all right. So hallelujah for the testing, sister. You're
yes.
Good.
All right. This next one is just talking about there being a distinction between religion and actually serving and following the example set forth by Messiah. Real good. Check it out.
Religion. You say Christian is the best. The Muslim guys say Islam is the best. And, whoever has its religion say that's the best. You should follow this because this is the best. Why should I follow any religion?
You shouldn't. Do not follow religion. Follow Jesus Christ, not religion. Religion has been used to justify the Crusades, the Inquisition, the Salem witch trials, enslaving African Americans. I think you'd be an idiot to follow religion. Jesus Christ is totally different from religion. I would never follow religion. Never.
So you would just follow a guy?
I would follow God. I would follow Jesus Christ. Yes, sir. If you think I'm going to follow American Christianity, no way. Absolutely no way. I'd be a fool to follow American Christianity. To follow Jesus Christ, that's radically different. Totally different. To follow Jesus Christ has nothing to do with being a Republican, has nothing to do with being a Democrat. It has to do with following God, following Christ.
I am convinced that God exists because of my experience of love. Love is not simply a chemical reaction. You can't x-ray a heart and find love. Love is intangible, non-physical. It's an intangible value, but it's love that makes the world go round.
It is love that makes the world go round. I love love.
Round and round like a marble. Yep. Mm-hmm.
If you want to know more about love, go and read 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the whole chapter. The whole chapter. It's good stuff in there.
Amen.
Yeah, that was good. Like I said, don't follow religion. Follow Yahushua. So it's like, yeah. I like his debates. I used to watch him a lot with like the college on those campuses, and it's just crazy how you see like the college kid, just like the whole indoctrination of the school system. As soon as they go to school, then it's like they have the secular teachers or the atheist teachers. They teach themselves and they come on and ask these questions. Some are curious, but you can just see like the more and people get separated from the Bible, or and everything when they typically go to school. I just noticed that when you go to those campuses, a lot of people are like confused, or they don't believe anymore, or maybe they grew up in a household, like say a Christian household or whatever. But it's once they go to school, is they kind of depart just because they're not being fed the right type of substance.
Yep. And I would say going to these campuses is even a bigger feat, because a lot of these kids, you have these young, immature kids who are being given all this information. They feel like they're smarter than they are, and they're getting information from these science, these different science and philosophical classes and course materials, and then they want to regurgitate that back at you and try to like poke holes in your doctrine or whatever it is you're trying to talk about it. So when you go to these campuses, it does really truly provide a good breeding ground to like just speak truth and sharpen your sword and touch the youth, because they'll start off coming at you kind of hard because they feel like they know everything and that they're smarter than you. But then when you start to like really break those layers and those walls down and have a discussion and show like, hey, this is what the scriptures say, you'd be surprised at the reaction that you get out of these kids. I've had a few different conversations when I have to go to these in-person classes that I'm taking, and I was surprised. A lot of these kids, they are willing and open to kind of hear you out. You just got to kind of get through that first level of being guarded. And then once you get into the room with them, you'd be surprised, man. There's some good stuff. So I love watching videos like this.
Yeah.
But this next video is profound. It is one of the most profound videos I've seen this year so far. It was so profound. Someone else sent it to me and said, hey, use this for righteous reactions. And I was like, somebody else already sent it. I already got it locked up in the queue. But this right here is a must watch.
Stories is in a mother's womb with two babies, and one turns to the other and says, do you believe in life after delivery? And the other replies, why, of course, there has to be something after delivery. Maybe we're here to prepare ourselves for what will be later. Nonsense, said the first. There's no life after delivery. What kind of life would that be? I don't know, said the second, but there'll be more light than here. Maybe we'll walk with our legs and eat with our mouths. Maybe we'll have other senses we can't understand now. First goes, that's ridiculous. Walking is impossible, and eating with our mouths, that's absurd. The umbilical cord is what scientifically supplies nutrition and all that we need, but it's far too short. Life after delivery is to be logically excluded. And the second says, what if it's just different than it is here? Maybe we don't need that physical cord anymore. The first goes, okay, if there were life after delivery, then tell me, why has no one ever come back from there? Delivery is the end of life, and in the after delivery is nothing but darkness and silence and oblivion. It takes us nowhere. And the second says, but certainly we'll meet Mother, and she'll take care of us. The first goes, Mother? You actually believe in Mother? If Mother exists, where is she now? And the second goes, she's all around us. We are of her. It is in her that we live. Without her, this world would not and could not exist. And the first says, I don't see her. It's only logical that she's not here. To which the second replied, sometimes, when you're in silence and you really listen, you can perceive her presence. You can hear her loving.
Was that the end of it? Oh wait, you're mute.
My bad. Yeah, it cut off right there. But what y'all think about that so far?
Man, that was powerful. Like I wanted to actually hear if there was more. I wanted to like finish listening to it.
I'm find a longer version of it though.
Yeah, I actually really like the analogy. Like that was definitely like, wow, yeah, I really like that one. That was one of the best ones I think for me today. I want to actually listen to the full video.
Oh, it is in him that we live and move and have our being. That's what kept playing over and over in my head as I was watching that.
Yes.
But you hear so often like people who are atheists or just very closed-minded, and they can only speak on what they can perceive right in front of them, right? Like he said, well, there can't be no life after delivery. Nobody's ever come back from delivery. What is this mother you believe in? Like that's crazy. That's crazy. Like I eat with my mouth. I got the umbilical cord. It's not long enough. This doesn't make any sense, right? And we are watching this video knowing that there is life after delivery because we've all been delivered and we've had a life and we can walk and eat and do all of these things. There's so much to explore in life outside of just being in the womb for 9 months, right? So it's kind of funny looking at this video, looking back, but it's the same argument that we have when we're talking to people and we're telling them about what the scriptures say. And we're telling them about Elohim. And a lot of them are like, nah, ain't nothing happen after life, after death. We just cease to exist. There is no greater power. There is no divine being that's all powerful and all of this stuff. Just how silly they sound, the baby sounds in the video is how silly they sound.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been given a manual as to what happens.
Here's another thing too. Like, who remembers actually being inside their mother, right? No one remembers that, right?
Wow.
Just like once it's all said and done, the memory of this, of all these hardships and everything that we've gone through is going to be like, we won't even remember it,
Yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah, that's a great point. Great point. I don't remember being in the womb, but I will tell you that when I was growing up and I would sit in my dad's lap and I would lean in my ear to his belly and just listen to the gurgling sound, it would always relax me. Always. No matter what I was going through. So I think subconsciously my body remembered the sounds that I would also hear when I was in my mom's belly.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't remember it, but my body remembers, if that makes sense.
It's crazy you say that now because now that you said that, for me, it's like when I sleep at night, I like to sleep with sound, either like a classical music or even like thunderstorm sounds, just some type of sound or the fan. And it relaxes me just having like that white noise or background noise. And that probably is tied to that too. I'm thinking about it. It's just like that. I don't know. It just calms me that those sounds, different sounds like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That white noise.
Yeah, sometimes I think that's bad because they always say that, like, oh, if you have TV on or you have something playing, that messes up your circadian rhythm. But I gotta have something to fall asleep to. Cause
Like,
I'm be up.
It's good, the frequency in that is really good for you.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's studies that show when you listen to like stuff that's considered high frequency, as well as like nature sounds and anything that's considered like positive. So high frequency, nature, and positive, like it's studies have shown that it's actually good for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up.
If you're like me and you fall asleep to crime shows, that's not a good thing.
Look, I literally fall asleep to crime shows, like the most gruesome stuff. But
yes, that's not good. We got to change that, sis. We both got to change that. But yeah.
Last night I fell asleep to a little podcast and they were talking about how like spirits, have a smell. Like you can apparently smell demons on people, and and I thought that was so cool. So I fell asleep listening to
that. You snoring and they're like the demons, they're in the room and creeping around and you
ain't gonna sleep tonight.
Knocked out.
Well, I'm big on doors, so I have to make sure that all the doors are like shut because I get scared.
So y'all got Jason Statham in your playlist then, just all of his movies. Rambo and
yeah, try classical music or some thunderstorms or like that type of sound, rain. See if that helps for the people who got the crime shows and TVs on. See if you can replace it with that. If see if that helps.
Yeah. What helps you go to sleep faster is if when you're playing this stuff, have it at a very low volume, so it's not really interrupting what you're doing. It's just a subtle sound in the background that's not bothering you, and you'll get used to it, right? But yeah, this last video, I mentioned it, I think 2 weeks ago, about a video that I watched, right? And I wanted to share it with you guys because I call it the lens of love. That's the little title of it. We all need to understand like the lens that we observe what's coming through it from someone else when they say something, especially if they have, like you said in the video, a proven track record of love. Because a lot of times, even though the person may have a track record of love and they tell you something, it's taken as disrespect or some type of jab or dig, and it's not coming from that type of place. It's coming from a place of love, correction, edification, not a place of judgment or anything malicious. You know what I mean? But this video right here, I think everybody should really just listen in and pay close attention to it because this is a very good video.
When we know someone loves us, we can filter everything they do through that lens. Because I have a friend who speaks very bluntly to people, but he has a track record of loving others. No, he said some of the wildest sentences I've ever heard. Like one time we were talking, he was like, Trip, right now you're very young. You have a tiny brain, you don't know anything. I was like, wow, thank you, man. And it's because he had already had this track record of loving people so well that that's what you filter that through. So I wasn't wondering, is this hate speech? Is he trying to insult me? I was really wondering now, how is he loving me? By telling me I have a tiny brain. Everything that God does in your life is motivated by his love for you. His track record has proven that. So when something difficult is going on in our lives, we should not be asking, does God love me? We know God loves us. The question is, how is God loving me in this situation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one too. Yep. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
We got so many.
Thought of Ebony when I watched that.
Yep. She sent it to me.
Yeah, things are hurt, may even sting a little, but it's when you look at it later in life, like, wow, I'm grateful I went through that situation. It made me, stronger, wiser, whatever. But it's like it's different things that happened or didn't even that happen at the time, maybe upset or frustrating. I think we've talked about different situations before. Like you want to be like a Disney animator, that never happened. But then now looking back, I'm grateful that it did not happen just because of the stuff that that happened there. But yeah, so it's like just be grateful, knowing that it's going. Even if something happens now, you don't understand. Just like grateful and I always thank y'all for that. Thank you. I don't understand this yet, but I know it's for my own good. So thank you for letting me go through this situation.
Facts. So I really take home from that when I hear people who love me, who truly love me, when they tell me stuff, I try to filter it through that, right? But like the biggest point that he made was at the end when he's talking about Elohim. We say, oh, we love Elohim, we serve Elohim, and then when things get rough in our life, all of that goes away, and we're wondering like, why is this happening to me? Well, like he said, you already know that he loves you. You read it, you feel it, you've experienced it. But now when something bad is happening, maybe you lost a loved one, maybe you lost a job, maybe you got sick, got ill, got physically hurt, whatever the case may be. He didn't stop loving you in that moment for that bad thing that happened to you. Ask yourself, how is he loving you from that situation, by that situation, through that situation? So that way your faith, your love for him doesn't falter in those pit stops. Because you might not be able to see it right in front of you, but he sees all of your workings, your whole journey, the whole path from point A to point B, right? And he knows that this is going to make you a better person, or this is going to grow you into being closer to the person that he intends for you to be. He didn't stop loving you just because something bad happened to you.
That kind of makes me think of footprints in the sand. No, it's not scripture, it's a poem, but it is so beautiful.
Yep. when you see the two set of footprints, and you're so filled with just joy and touching, but then you see the one set of footprints, you like, why is there only one set of footprints, right?
That's when he carried you.
It's when he carried you. He didn't leave you. He carried you.
Yeah, I heard that before. Yeah, that's pretty good too.
Yep, that reminds me of Job, where it says don't demise like the chastening of the Almighty, for he bruises but he binds up, he wounds but his hands make whole.
Yep.
Because I used to be scared. I used to be more scared of the Lord's punishment than like actually having like that fear and respect for him. And I battled with that for a long time. Like I would just fear the punishment, but then, you know, reading Job and reading Psalms 38, those like spoke to me heavily and kind of helped me change my perspective on it. Like he chastens those that he loves. So yeah, same way as what your parents would do, you know?
Yep. Absolutely.
But better.
Much better. Much, much better. But with that being said, that concludes all the videos that I had this week. Next Righteous Reactions, we'll have a whole another collection of more as we go through the queue. Does anybody have anything that they want to share before we close it out? All right. Well, me and Professor S will be live in about 6 minutes on Brother Lucas's channel, Seven Trumpets Prepper, covering a very interesting topic. So if you want to tune in, feel free to. It'll be on Seven Trumpets Prepper YouTube channel. But with that being said, if nobody got anything else, may the Most High bless you, keep you, campus angels around you, give you peace that is shalom, fill you with favor, in the Messiah's name. Shabbat shalom, family.
Shabbat shalom, family.
Shabbat shalom, y'all.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat.
Shabbat shalom, family.
Shabbat shalom, love y'all.
Shabbat shalom.
All praises, man. All praises. See, the Most High told me, man, give him a proverb. So
they call me prophet when they run up, so I put the gun up. Started from the bottom, but now I'm on the come up. Staying on my grind, I'ma hustle till the sun up. I kick it with my ox, so you know we put that pun up. Yeah, life's different when you anointed. Them demons come hard when they know that you've been appointed. Was stubborn in my ways, on the way to my grave. Stiff neck me for the truth, now my spirit is double jointed. Gotta stay ready for war. I put on the whole